Well, I think we should start slowly to the next session, session 3. Petya Ilyeva should be chairing the session, but obviously she's busy right now. And I would like to start with the first lecture, actually. It's the session for conclusion and Thracian fibulae. And the first speaker is Nina Sulava from Georgian National Museum in Tbilisi in Georgia. And her lecture entitles as Caucasian Two-Piece Art of Fibulae and Urartian Fibulae. And as she would not be here, she has some other duties currently. I would like to sort of read out her paper to the public, and I'll start with her public right now, with her paper right now. Perfect. So I'll start with her paper to read out her paper because she's not present at the conference right now. As I said, the lecture title is Caucasian Two-Piece Art Fibulae and Urartian Fibulae. Well, she starts with a presentation of those typologies. They are presented, those typologies are presented by simple arched fibulae and so-called Asia Minor or Urartian fibulae. Type 1 of simple arch fibulae, the main characteristic features of type 1 fibulae are one end of the arch is of nail outline on which one end of the needle is coiled, while the other end of the arch is a socket for placing the needle, which has the shape of a tongue. The arc is plain or adorned. In terms of the morphological features and adornment of type 1 fibulae, 6 subtypes can be identified. The first one is arc stem is of round section. The second is arc stem is of rhomboid section. The third one is arc twisted, or the fourth one is octahedral arc. And then the fifth one is with bead-like arc, and the last one is crescentic one. Now she has drawings of those each types, which we also place in our abstract booklet. And she's also classifying all those typologies according to their fine spots, starting from Syria in Georgia, Bari, Stifras, Kutasi, Ichkizi, Sakkari, Korete, Brili, and Rigani in different locations in southern Caucasian region in the territories of modern Georgia. And then she also placed them into a chronology from starting from the 5th century until 1st century BC, a long time period. And then in her second drawing, she has also the variants of 1b, which dates from 1st century to 6th century AD from different locations in Georgia. She has another variant, again from the 1st century AD, from Monastery and Sakkari in Georgia. Also other variants from different locations in Georgia, mostly on the Black Sea coastline. And one golden one from Vani. Two-piece arched fibulae of type 1 generally occur in the 5th to 3rd centuries BC and later in the 1st and to 3rd centuries AD. The early period of their existence falls into the last stage of existence of one-piece arched fibulae. The specimens, the examples dated to the 1st to 3rd century AD, continue as it were the old tradition. Type 2, similar to so-called Asia Minor or Urartian fibulae, they are primarily characterized by movable needle coiled around one end of the arch of the fibula, which in turn ends with a ball-like swelling. This swelling prevents the coiled end of the needle from slipping off the arch. The semicircular arch is of round section, evenly or drastically swollen, plain or designed variously, or flat, adorned variously with a notched ornament. Occasionally, the arc has disc-like swellings at the beginning and end. The type G is simple or at times hand-like needle catch, or a needle catch that represents an imitation of hand. It is believed that their appearance in Urartu took place in the last quarter of the 8th century BC. Now she has the examples of such type, her type 2 or her type U, from different locations in Georgia, mostly from sites where you can find some Urartian material, like Darkiyeti, Atskuri, Shorapani, Mukurja, or stuff like this. And then also some other further examples. She also presents us a typological chronological table and its distribution map in Georgia down to Armenia, and also on Georgian coastline of the Black Sea, where she classified all the fibulae with different typologies. And yeah, she has one more, I think, slide. It has been ascertained that analogous specimens of two-piece arched fibulae of type 1 occurring in the Caucasus are not found elsewhere, no doubt being a local phenomenon as they evidence a genetic line in terms of the variety of ornamentation, which one-piece arched fibulae. By identifying a group of so-called Asia Minor or Urartian fibulae, in addition to the Aegean world and South Europe, another region has been confirmed from where fibulae were imported into Caucasus. They are dated to the second half of the 7th and 6th centuries BC. This is a period when fibulae were produced locally in the Caucasus. This may have been the reason why import from the south did not take place into the Caucasus, in particular Phrygian fibulae, with their characteristic complex design or fastener. So she would like to thank you for your attention. So thank you also. I would like to ask, yeah, something happened to Petya. Good. Then I should maybe chair the session further. Something happened for some unknown reasons. Well, the next speaker will be Georgi Nekrizov from National Archaeological Institute with Museum in Sofia in Bulgaria, as well as Ivet Krylova from Sofia University, St. Clement, Orinsky, Bulgaria. I hope that they are here. Maya, do you see your colleagues? They are here. Perfect. That's great. I'm hoping that you do not have the same reason as Petya, that she disappeared right all in a sudden. But this is great to have you here. And their paper will be iron fibulae with bronze inlay from Thras. So please go ahead with your lecture. Thank you.
Okay. Our paper will present Ivet Kirillova.
I hope you can see the presentation. Is it everything okay? Okay, so our report will be present a group of iron fibula distributing the length of the ancient trace at the beginning of the early Iron Age. These are double-looped fibula with triangle outline with toe pin holder and 3 spheres of the bow, which are decorated with inlay, bronze, or copper. So according to the classification scheme for the discovered fibulae by early Iron Age in Bulgaria, developed by Diana Gergova, these fibulae are part of type B first one variant gamma. So far, a total of 25 fibula from this group are known, found in Bulgarian and in North Greece. Only 3 of them are fully preserved. We have 4 that allow approximate restoration of the form. The size of the better preserved fibulae vary from 10.8 to 0.5 centimeter, and they have a variety of parameters, probably depending of the gender and age of their users. Regardless of their size, the significant diameter of the spiral is impressive, which is often more than 1 centimeter. and the diameter of some of them reach 1.5 or even over 2 centimeters. In most cases, the spheres show a oblique incision inlaid with bronze or copper threads, and we have some fibulas which sphere are also flanked with inlays, like in this case here. Some did not have an inlay. Apparently, not all of them. One. Some of the found fragments of such fibula are strongly corroded, and it is possible that the bronze or copper threads fell out. In this case, when the fibula originate from cremation grave, the copper alloy has melted, and only we have the trace of green patina, where is visible that the spheres during the discovery. So the highest concentration of this fibula are found in southern trace, mainly in Rhodope mountain. Here we have 16 iron fibula of this type. We are found in this area. 3 such fibula came from northeast Bulgarian. Here, there are 2 sites from the Zborjanovo Archaeological Reserve. It's located near the Sveshtari, which is in northwest Bulgaria. Recently, archaeological excavation have uncovered similar fibula in several sites in western Bulgaria. This is necropolis from Drentelan, Vrapcha, and Palat. And the mapping of the finds of this type of fibula, according to Diana Gergova, show that the core of their distribution and probably their production is in Rhodope mountain, and it is possible that they have a studio for the production in the land of northeast Thrace. In order to outline the chronological framework of the use of this group of fibula, it is important to present the context of their discovery. Excluding accidental finds, most of the fibula came from the necropolis. First of one we will show you, it's Dolmen Nacheviciri near to Hljabovo. During the study of the dolmen, 2 particularly preserved iron fibula with bronze inlay were found. One of in front of the facade, and the second is in a small side chamber in which were found human remains. Fragments of ceramic vases are dated in early Iron Age, and some of which can be dated later than the fibula. The researcher placed the construction of the dolmen as a very beginning of the first of early Iron Age, and the fibula can be dated in 11th to 9th century. A massive ball of iron fibula of this type was found in the dolmen, densely surrounded by crepice from a vertical nailed gneiss slab near the village of Železino. Traces of long use of monument have been found at the end of the 2nd and throughout the 1st millennium BC, but there are no human bones or cremation remain. Part of the bronze fibula and jewelry made of amber beads struggle on bronze wire was also found in this site. In Pčelari, during the study of the necropolis of 4 rock tombs, a trace of burial were found, single human bones, ceramic fragments, iron knife, and fibula, one of which is from a group that we presented here. The use of rock tombs is set in period between 9th and 8th century. Iron fibula of this type were found in small mounds of stone and soil near Proglet, Cepelare, and Jagodina, which are in West Rhodope mountain. Burial were performed by cremation and inhumation, important specific of the ritual, which speaks of the early date of the complex, are the discovery of bronze sphere next to the urn in the Mount of Proglet, as well as ceramic vases from late Bronze Age in the tomb of Cepelare. Iron fibulae from this type also originate from necropolis and Greece part of Rhodope. As a result, recently rescue excavation, a series of stone structure were found in which burial were performed. During the first phase of necropole in nearly to Dren-Delan, in the first phase is between 11th and 8th century. We have a cremation in urn, which predominate. During the second phase between 6th and 4th century, the right was also cremated, but the remains were placed in the stone structure. Among the various finds from the necropolis, weapons, jewelry, vases, we have fibula with have a characteristic similar to this of our type B, first one, gamma. So the next one is Vrapče necropolis. The necropolis is a shaft of small stone mounds piled next to each other. About 30 graves have been excavated. Burial were performed by cremation and inhumation. A variety of burial inventory was found: bronze and iron jewelry, weapon, ceramic vases, and as well as a hole and a fragment of another fibula by this type. You can see her. The presence of the pottery have Basarabi pottery finds that give the researchers reason to date necropolis between 7th and 6th century BC, but in our opinion it also have an early period of functioning of this necropolis. Here you can see one more iron fibulae from this group presented here is originate from various cities in Bulgaria, in west and sides, and we have only from Rhodope mountain. In order to clarify the chronology of production and use of this group fibulae, it is necessary to present two of the studies necropolis in more detail. First of this is about Zburianovo. Zburianovo is necropolis with 5 low mounds accumulated of stone and earth. In some with crepes have been studied. The funeral rite is cremation, in some cases with traces of burn. Several individuals of different ages and gender are buried in the mountains. The burial inventory is not very rich and consists mainly of ceramic vases and other small options. And we have here found 4 fibula. 2 of them are from iron, and we have 2 from bronze, which are from the same type. This is a grave 1 from Tumulus 2. Here we have a woman about 50 years of age, and in this grave were found 2 fibulae, which have a high trapezoid plate slightly cut on the side. At the feet, 2 small amphora-shaped vases, and we have only anthropomorphic and zoomorphic plastic and the other things. The next one is grave 3 from Tumulus 3. It's again, it's woman. It's over 50 year old, and we have 1 iron fibula, which is here, from which is preserved a bow and a spiral. We have only cantharos, 2 vases, and little beads. This one is again from Zborjanovo. It's grave 1 from Tumulus 5. It's a grave on a girl between 16 and 70 years old. Next to the skull bones, particularly preserved, have an iron fibula. And it is important to emphasize that in the necropolis in Zborjanovo were found almost identically fibulae that are made of iron and that are made of bronze. They differ only in the plate of the needle.
Отдаме в техния телевизор.
Evet, загуби говор.
Forse dovrei stare fuori. I think that some internet connection has been sort of problematic for our Bulgarian colleagues. I'm wondering if the other colleague is still here. I think there was a sudden breakdown with the connection, I suppose. I'll just let me check once again if they're still there. Yeah, there we go.
Hello again. Yeah, I have a little problem.
Okay, great. So would you like to continue, Yvette?
Yes.
Yeah, please go ahead. Thank you.
I guess you can see it again. It's Bureau necropolis near to Stambulovo. The necropolis consists of 3 small mounds accumulated of stone and earth. Graves are from late Bronze Age and early Iron Age, and we will show them. In the second mount we have 4 burial in Pitus were studied, in one of which we have an iron fibula of this type. The skeleton in the Pitus are incomplete, and it's not in anatomic order. In some Pitus there are bones of 2 individuals. Here you can see the pottery. The characteristic of this pottery is in first period of early Iron Age. We can show the other finds. From Stambulovo have a bronze bracelet, rings, beads that are made from glass, bronze, and amber. We have an iron knives and anthropomorphic plastic. So here is the fibulae from Stambulovo. We have 5 different fibula were found in this mount too. The iron fibula with bronze inlay, this is here, was found in the grave of a child of approximately maybe 20 years old. From Stambulovo have radiocarbon dates. Category confirmed the date that is proposed from Professor Stoyanov, that this iron fibulae, the bone sample from the grave, which such a fibula have calibrated with date 1003 to 927 with 68.2 probability, and it with 95.4 probability. The date is between 1045 to 996. And the last one in laboratory in National Archaeological Institute Museum in Sofia. an X-ray fluorescent analysis was performed in order to clarify the composition of the threads inlaid in the iron sphere of the bow of the fibula from Stambulovo. It was found in general that they are made of copper, consisting copper and tin in different proportions. So we can say that they are made from bronze, the inlay that they are decorated. And that was from us, and thanks to everyone.
Okay, thank you very much, Red, for this splendid paper. You have just showed us several different typologies from an unknown location that we will never ever have an access to see all of them together in an assemblage. Thank you for this splendid conference. Well, the next speaker and the last speaker of this session, number 3, will again be Nina Slova, but as I said, she's not here. So I'm going to be the one who is going to be read out her paper to the public. So let me just arrange it with share screen first. Just start. Can you guys see the PowerPoint right now?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So let me just start with her paper. The Colchian fibula from Kurtsu, Western Georgia. Well, she placed first a simple fibula from a simple Caucasian one-piece arched fibula at the beginning of her paper. One example of that. This type of fibulae are distributed throughout the Mediterranean from the Apennine Peninsula to the Caucasus and in Central Europe and Asia Minor. And she claims that the fibulae are of great importance for historical chronology, definitely. The discovery of one-piece arched fibula in the Caucasus aroused great interest from the very beginning. Interest in the antiquities of the Caucasus, including fibulae, increased after the finds in the village of Koban in Ossetia in 1869. These discoveries in the North Caucasus were named the Koban culture. She also pointed where they all found out here in the territories in the borderline of Georgia to Ossetia. And she also underlined this place once again in this map. Now she has a part for a specific part for Colchis and fibulae. And then she placed a map of B.A. Kaftan, the great researcher of the archaeological cultures of the Caucasus, the so-called Colchian Kobanian Bronze area. And she also referred his publication in Russian journals, in Russian annuals. She also placed some examples of Colchian Kobanian bronzes to us from different periods. In the 20th century, the theme of legendary Colchis from myth became a reality due to the archaeological discoveries. Based on the study of the available material, it was established that finds of one-piece arched fibula in the Caucasus coincident with the area of Colchis and the Colchian bronze culture, which is characterized by recognizability in historical and international arena through Assyrian, Urartian, Greek written sources and Greek myths of Argonauts and Prometheus. Specific metal, copper and bronze items belonging to the one ethnic group obtained as burial mounds or settlements and in the form of hoards. Typological and chronological cycle of artifact formation, developed whole meteorological technological chain or mining, smelting, artifact production, specific ceramics, diagnostic ceramics, beliefs which reflects in the funeral rite the so-called phenomenon of bronze hoards and the theme of fantastic animal on bronze items. Thus, there are all the data by which it is possible to determine a name of this culture. All of this is not only changed the idea of the so-called Koban culture, but also confirmed that the roots of Colchian bronze culture are located in the territory of Georgia, Colchis, and even outlined its range along with the contact and infiltration zones, a part of Turkey, northeastern part of Turkey, adjacent to Georgia, and the territory adjacent to Abkhazia from the north, and parts of Asida-Kartli and North Caucasus. The transition of carriers of the Colchian bronze culture to the other side of the Caucasus range, with a complex of already formed artifacts, took place along the same numerous passages that exist even today. This process also assumed to a certain ethnic infiltration and consolidation of the Caucasus ethnos in the adjacent region, Shida-Kartli, the North Caucasus, Meshketi, the southeastern coast of the Black Sea. Along with archaeological material, this is confirmed by the toponymic data. Zanizm, Zanuri in modern Ossetian are especially interesting in this respect. Therefore, the discovery of two compact cemeteries, Tilia, Shida, Kartli, Kobanin in North Caucasus, adjacent to the Colchian bronze culture area, should not be uncommon. In our opinion, the contiguous issues, Colchian Koban culture, Colchian Koban or Colchian Koban, as well as all three main points of view, that the center of Koban culture is in Colchis, and the Colchian and Koban cultures are identical. And the Colchian and Koban cultures are two different cultures that have close ties with each other, became groundless. Now on the Caucasian fibulae. Researchers tried to connect the Caucasian fibulae with Northern Italian Echantre and Greek materials. According to foreign scientists, international scientists, the Caucasian fibulae are a puzzle. They created problems and were shrouded in mystery, such as Santwell or Buzek, Jan Buzek, in his publication 1985. Some researchers supported the idea of their local origin. Gobeshvili, Teko, and Shkarova. There was no unanimity on chronology either. She refers her own publication. To date, when a fundamental study of Caucasian fibulae has been carried out, the issues of their typology, chronology, and genesis can be considered resolved. Although new discoveries and new research can make certain adjustments, that's quite natural and regular for archaeological science. The Colchian fibulae from Kursu. One of the best, well-preserved examples of fibulae from Colchis is the one found in the village of Kursu, Vartamili municipality in western Georgia, which is exhibited in the Martvili Museum of Local Law. Here is Martvili region, which is northwestern part of Georgia, on the borderline to Ossetia. She also placed a picture of the museum when it was founded in 1957, and also she also displays the founder of the establishment, Givi Elieva. This is the picture of the museum today, Martvili Museum of Local Law. The artifact, which is a business card of the Martvili Museum of Local Card, which she means like the famous ones. Again, a map of Kursu, where Kursu is located. She's giving us exact location of this place through Google Earth, and the exact location of where this fibula has been found in Kursu. In the Caucasus and above all in Colchis, fibula appeared suddenly. More precisely, very soon after the idea of one-piece arch fibula came to the Caucasus, their local production began, and fibula became one of the most important artifacts in Colchian bronze culture. It has already been determined that early fibulae spread in Colchis were low arch. One of these fibulae with a twisted arch is also kept in the Martvili Museum of Local Law. It was found by chance at the Mukarcha Patris Nakuru burial ground before the start of archaeological excavations in the area. The fibula with a twisted arch is one of the most common type in all those areas where fibulae have ever been discovered. As we know from foreign international materials, low arch fibulae with twisted stems were mainly distributed in the first quarter of the first millennium BC, according to Caucasian material, I3 subtype or 1-3 subtype. Based on this, presumably they should have been appeared in the Caucasus at the same time from the Aegida through contacts by sea, Aegean, she means. It is difficult to document that the sea contacts were not unilateral and could have been bilateral. But the fact is that an analog of the Caucasian fibula having an arch with a herringbone decor is known from Bulgaria. And on the island of Samos, items of the Caucasian origin were discovered: clasps, Russells, and statues. Now, this is her material. Fibula from the village of Kurza in the Martville Museum of Local Lore. The fibula from Kurza is high arch, and the arch has rhomb-shaped cross-section and is decorated with longitudinally directed needle engraving, and the legged nest is widened. Its additional decoration is a bronze chain pendant. I think she means this one's. Put on the or placed on the fibula needle. 6 pendants in the form of spectacles-shaped hooks are suspended on small chain fragments at regular intervals, or volute shapes, you could also say. The fibulae from Kurza is no longer as low arch as the fibulae from the Colchian burial grounds of the 8th to 7th centuries BC, as for example, a fibula with a twisted arch from Mukurcha. It belongs to the fibulae known mainly from the sites of Western Georgia. From Caucasian materials, fibulae decorated with chains and pendants of other kinds are known from Lugovi, Ksani Valley, and Koban. In the next slide, a longitudinally direct needle engraving, Fischgrad Muster in German, they say. She's exemplifying it through the slide here. You can see it clearly. And then the widened leg, the nest, she says. 6 pendants in the form of spectacles-shaped hooks are suspended on small chain fragments at regular intervals. She means these ones, with this lovely patina, green patina. And for the conclusion, first of all, it combines 2 components, 2 things reflecting ancient context: the fibula itself and pendants, presented in the form of spectacle-shaped hooks. The surface of the arch is engraved. The fibula, which itself was found by chance, was found in Kurzu in the context of also accidentally found archaeological artifacts such as Colchian axes, daggers, clasps, temporal spirals, tubular spillars, and hooks. The fibula must be a funerary origin and presumably come from such a type of Colchian burial grounds as Ureki, Nigziani, Ergeta, Degwaba, Paluri, Mukurcha, Tishayi, and the chronology for which is determined by 8th to 7th centuries BC. Thus, the fibula from Kurzu is another evidence of those early contacts that existed between Colchis and the regions of Europe, and that Georgia and the Caucasus was a part of that vast space in which the idea of fibula circulated. Thanks to the connections and contacts of ancient peoples living in this area, similar or relatively changed archaeological artifacts spread, and the fibula, which is one of the most important and characteristic components of the Colchian culture, is one of the reliable arguments for this. At the end of her paper, she has this very interesting photo where she tries to customize herself with this beautiful fibula, and we would like to thank her for this. Yes, I am supposed to be also the chair for the session. When I just checked the hour, I'm seeing that we still have 4 minutes. We are perfectly in time, more or less, for discussion. Maybe I should start with the discussion so that we will save some time for some valuable time, which we already deserved because of the lunch, the interrupted lunch. Maybe we should start with the discussion for the first paper of Nila Sulava on Caucasian 2-piece arch fibula. Is there any question about that? Well, I cannot reply on my own, but maybe we could just write it down on the chat, and then she will just have a chance to check it in YouTube, and then maybe just get back to us if you guys have any question about that. Yeah, well, where is Dr. Boar? Yeah, here he is. Because I remember some of these pieces that Nino had in her lecture to have seen also in one of the publications of Dr. Boara. Maybe we should discuss it privately later. Now for the second paper, of Georgi Nekrizov and Yvette Kirlova about the iron fibulae with bronze inlay from Tras. That was a very interesting paper. Is there any question about that? Yvette is here, and our other colleague is, I think, also here, Georgi. If there is any question, please raise hand so that I will.
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm a student archaeology in the University of Trnovo in Bulgaria.
Yeah. Simon Angelo, right? Simon Angelo?
Yes, Simeon Angelo. So my question is, where do you think that these fibulae are produced in the Western world, or are there two independently production centers in the northeastern Bulgaria and southwestern Bulgaria? Thank you.
Thank you, Simon. Yvette, did you have the chance to hear it? Yeah.
Yeah, I have. How we say in presentation, we think they are made somewhere in Rhodope Mountain, but we're not sure where. But how we show on the map, most of these fibulae are from this area. So we think some there have a studio that they are made. The other option is in northeast Bulgaria, where is Zborjanovo and Kamen Rit, from where we have more fibula like this. So I think it's enough. We don't have enough information, and for now this is only the answer I can give to him.
Thank you very much.
Yes. It was a very satisfactory and a short answer. Any other question to our Bulgarian colleagues for this amazing paper that I even learned a lot about Bulgarian heritage? Well, it doesn't seem to be the case. So let me just ask about the last paper with this amazing necklace that Nina tried on her own costume. Is there any question about that? So that we can just maybe write it down here in the chat, and then she will just check on her own and answer it later. Yes. Good. It doesn't seem to be the case. So we have now 30 minutes until the next session number 4. This session went too fast, or the discussion was too short with these two papers from Georgia. So thank you very much for your participation. Before I close the session, I would like to ask, hi Olivia, I would like to ask again for our next session chair, if he's here or not. I am seeing Mikhail from the beginning of today, but then now he seems to be disappeared, because I suppose he has another conference today to participate. First of all, I would like to thank him to accept our suggestion with the chairmanship, and I hope that he will be here in time, that he wouldn't really just sort of disappear as Petya did. But he was here for a long time, so I think that he will do his business. So we'll meet up again at 13:45 to Turkish time, to Istanbul time. Hi, Mikhail, are you ready for chairing the next session? Session number 4, perfect. This is great. This is great to have you. Thank you very much for coming. So let us meet in 29 minutes again, guys. Thank you very much for your participation, and see you.